either.
It's my internet.
Hello.
Yes, I think it's my
Uh-huh.
internet connection.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Archana, I can hear you now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my question is it your physical body which is not supporting you, or something
Yeah.
which is okay.
That physical thing, because I feel like, moving around,
Hmm.
earlier it used to be like I used to feel a little bit restless after 50 minutes or, 55 or
Hmm.
max one. Also, I could, manage pretty well.
Hmm.
But these days, not even half an hour. And also,
Hmm.
a little bit of confusion started with inner journey,
Hmm.
because that was like it's a process wherein they used to say first to meditate, and then they
Hmm.
used to say no, focus on the process,
Hmm.
not to
Hmm.
meditate. So it was like those that confusion arose from
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And I was like so I felt like so disconnected with the process. But again, I made it a point, no, I will just, and I did
Hmm.
so many affirmations, this and that, I did
Hmm.
my best. But still I feel, I think that confusion arose from whenever the inner journey started, because between the meditation where you concentrate just and just on your breath. That's
Hmm.
what I have been learning from you all guys. And when
Hmm.
inner journey started, they said you have to, like, when you're listening, okay, now so and so are putting like this light or doing this work and doing that
Hmm.
work. So of course your mind goes there. So I
Hmm.
personally feel that this would have come from there, this restlessness.
Yeah.
I personally
Yeah.
feel
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah, it's the confusion, right? So all these time we
Hmm.
have asked you to meditate and focus only on our breath.
Exactly.
Suddenly, yes. So the thing is,
अभी ये हुआ
Archana,
कि
yes.
अभी अभी ये हुआ है कि I'm not even able to concentrate on my breath. You're seeing that
Mm,
the effect. I'm not even able to concentrate on breath
mm-hmm,
because my mind
mm,
is going to some other words, because that has
mm,
been what we have been doing on an everyday basis in inner journey. We are
right.
listening to people,
Mm,
to their whatever they're telling, trying to
mm, mm,
imagine, or you can say visualize, or just you know
yes.
it was all full
Yes.
confusion.
No, no, it's not a confusion. It's just
Ah,
that the confusion comes only when there is no clarity. So, so let us bring this clarity. This is what I'm going to speak tonight. Tonight,
oh,
I think at 8 p.m. Your time, I think US time, I'll be speaking on knowing who we are. So
okay.
I'm
Uh-huh.
bringing these concepts from Bringers of the Dawn book, because
Wow.
that book I resonated with that book so much. There's so
Oh.
much of information in that book, and the moment I started reading that book, or once I finished that book, there's so much of clarity, the judgmental, the logical mind, and all these things, accepting the process and everything, because I have understood from there. So tonight
Hmm.
I'll be your
Which
time.
platform, Madhu?
So it will be, I'll be sharing it in the group.
Huh.
I'll be
Can you, yeah,
sharing it in
please
the
share the
Beam
link.
group, because
Uh-huh.
it's really, really very interesting. Very
Yep.
simple. I'll be
Good.
putting it into a very simple words, because I don't want to confuse too much.
Mm-hmm.
But because we as humans, we have to know that where we all came from, how this earth had formed, and everything. It is given so beautifully in that book that once I've read it, I've resonated with it. Oh, yeah, it's true. Like once we read this Untold Story of Sita, right? We are
Mm-hmm.
reading, we are journeying through that times. We know that yes, this is the truth. Yes, why was it hidden? Why we were not knowing this before? So the same feeling I understood when I read this book, Bringers of the Dawn, that oh, why did we come to this earth plane? Like why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
Like who are we? From where did we come from? So all these questions
I
had dissolved.
uh-huh.
And
Oh, I tried
mhm.
to read that book, but I couldn't understand and I gave up.
Yes,
I
because
tried like
yeah.
couple of
Mhm.
chapters. Oh
Mhm.
man, it was just out of my boundaries,
Yes,
like my
yes.
understanding boundaries.
I
In
read
fact, I
it.
was discussing
Uh,
with Smita
uh-huh.
also, who she's in our group, Smita. So I said, oh
Mhm.
man, I cannot just understand.
Yes,
So
because
I'm looking forward to your session today then.
yeah, it was. I read it long time back. At that
Uh,
time, I was not ready to receive this
hmm.
book, because there's so much of
Oh,
information to digest. In some
I
books,
know.
you have to reread it again to get the information to connect to it.
True, true,
So it's
true, true.
in one go you will not understand it. Sometimes like you just keep it away, because that was not a time for you to take that book. So when you are
Mm-hmm.
ready, again some from somebody, someone else will call, okay, you read this book is interesting. Oh, that's how you come up and say this. I was supposed to read it long time back, I did not get connected. Maybe it is
Hmm.
the time, it's the hint that
It's a time.
the universe is putting me to read this book. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be speaking about this book. So
Sure.
be
Yeah,
ready, and
definitely.
I'll be
Okay.
telling like the story. You know that I
Uh-huh.
like telling stories.
Uh-huh.
So
How nice.
wherein
That way people connect it very easily,
Mhm.
and it's like it's easier to, retain it in your
Right,
memory, like a
right,
story kind rather than the
mhm,
theoretical and,
right.
just more of scientific and all that. It becomes a little bit difficult to understand.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Madhu. So
great.
yeah, I think
Thank you.
this restlessness is maybe because of that, and I'm just praying that it all goes away soon,
It will.
and
It
I'm
will.
back to my regular meditation. I was happy without any experience, but at least I was getting that peace of mind. I was like cool. I was
Mm,
very happy with that.
mm. Yeah,
But yeah, it has changed a bit.
yeah. Let's. You will see in the coming days great
Sure.
things.
We'll keep fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Thank you, Madhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Archana. So, all right, friends, let us begin our meditation. Cross your hands, fingers into fingers. Cross your legs. Close your eyes. And just relax. So, friends, today let us work on grudges that we have holded. If at all you had any grudge on anybody else in the past, that you are holding it till now, I would request you all to let go of it. Let us all vibrate in a higher frequency of acceptance. If any person have done something bad to you or had hurt you, please do not hold any grudge on them, for they don't know what they are doing. Be compassionate towards them. Dissolve their hurt into love, into acceptance. The more you're holding grudges, the more you become heavier, and you are not bringing any good to yourself. We are here to live the life to the fullest. Whenever you have any grudge feelings or any feelings of hatred toward anyone, take a very deep breath and exhale. Your breath is the constant reminder that you are living. And please don't fall prey for these emotions. For the situations. Accept the other person. When you accept others, you become more free and free. The moment you accept yourself, you will be liberated. You will be in eternal joy. And with that feeling of acceptance and with a joy in your heart, let us become one with our breath, of a natural breath, being grateful to our breath. A soft, tender, tranquil breath. Accept yourself and connect with yourself. Nobody and nothing can stop you from that unless you want to stop it. Last 2 minutes, friends. Bring back your awareness to your physical body. Friends, before we end the session, I would like to read few lines which Swami Rama had given us. You are what you were before, but you can become whatever you want to become. If you desire something, you will have it. Whatever you have has come to you because of your desires. Nothing happens without your having desired it, whether that desire was conscious or unconscious. This is all you're doing. You simply are not aware of it. Once you become aware of it, the whole mystery of life will be solved. So, friends, let us become more aware and aware each and every moment of how we are speaking, what we are speaking, how we are thinking. It is surely creating something in our life. Just let us become aware. All the meditations that we are doing, all the processes that we are taking up, is just to make us more aware and aware. The moment you become aware, you see the beauty of life. Then you will understand that you create your own reality. Last 5 seconds, friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now slowly place your both hands over your eyes for a few seconds. And whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes and take off your hands. Welcome back, friends. I hope you all had a beautiful meditation. If there is anybody who wish to share your experience, please unmute yourself and you can share your experiences. before we begin the story of Mata Sita. What did you feel when this meditation has been done? I mean, initially, what was your feelings when I was speaking about the grudges? Have you had any experiences that you had any release of these grudges? Have you had any memories? Have you noticed something? You know, friends, when we close our eyes, then we will be able to get into the past. We'll be getting to the roots of it. Then only we'll realize that, oh, I had these kind of grudge towards this person from my childhood. Oh, now I let go of it. Does anybody of you felt like that? Thank you, Sahil. Thank you for your message. Yeah.
Hey, Madhu.
Hey, Archana. Yes, Archana.
Yeah, I really didn't want to open my mouth and eyes.
I know.
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
beautiful. I really didn't want to talk. But since you asked a couple of times, I just, oh, it was, after a long time, I felt so good and I'm happy about it.
Wow.
I'm really, really, I'm really, really happy and thanks to universe and to
Mhm.
you that I spoke with you and also I guess mainly because I spoke to you and also this group energy, I guess.
Mhm.
So yeah, everything worked so well and I'm feeling so happy actually.
Beautiful. Yes. That's
One word and yeah,
that's great,
and
Archana.
grudges. As I said you once, what had happened between my grandma and myself, right? You remember
Mm.
my experience.
Mhm.
Since
Yes.
then, I try not to hold grudge or
Mm.
anger against anyone. If I have, I just tell and let it go. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a kind of a person who's very vocal about my opinion, which is not
Opinion.
really people not most of the people they don't like it.
Mm.
I really tell you, most of the people they don't like being so frank or being so vocal about the opinion. Uh, I used to say to my close, near and dear ones, I used to say you and my friends and everyone. But later on, when I saw that yeah, people don't like so much of frankness or so much of you know uh, what do you call clear, being transparent, then I stopped. But at least I don't maintain grudge.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't,
Yes.
especially after
That's
my grandmother's incident. So I
mm.
was trying to, when you said, like, I was trying to recollect. कोई भी नहीं मिल रहा था.
Oh, very good. I mean, see, it's not
I was
the
trying
reason.
my best.
Yeah, the reason why.
Even for my
Yes,
husband, even for my husband, I didn't have any courage.
yes.
Yeah, a
That's really good.
recent experience, like
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
3
what I
days back
want.
only, I
Like.
had done my
Mhm.
yeah. Bad feeling is different for a moment, and holding the grudge is different. Of course,
Yeah.
we feel a little bit down or
Mhm.
bad for a moment,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
grudge is entirely different. So I was just
Right.
trying to recollect, कि कहीं किसी के साथ grudge है, so I didn't find anyone,
That's
and
very
I'm
good.
glad. I'm happy that I'm like that.
That's
Yeah,
very good.
and I'm sorry for the
Very good.
delayed response because I didn't want to open my eyes.
No, that's it's not must that you have to open your eyes because
Yeah,
I when
yeah.
I see that nobody's replying, that means I understand
Hmm.
that everybody is in that
Hmm.
state. If you feel like
Yeah.
staying in that state, don't push yourself since I'm asking to come out and share. It's okay. I can
Yeah.
completely understand.
But I was feeling so happy to share my happiness.
That's
So
really
I muted.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
cute. That's good. Yes.
After a long time, I think after 3, 4 days, I'm getting a good smile
Very
on
nice.
my face.
Very
Yeah.
nice. That's good,
And I'm
Archana.
happy about it.
Very good, Archana.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madhu.
Thank you. Thank you. And my mom is writing no grudges, hence no
Hmm.
regrets. Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
yes, mom. Yeah. Yes, Sahar. Please continue being in that state. Yeah. And a friend from YouTube, she says that time passed so fast. Blissful meditation. Thank you, Debasmita. And friends.
I
Yes.
guess there's something with this, what do you call, flute, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yeah,
The
it's
whenever this
very.
flute music is, oh God, it's so different. And also the nature, like
Mm,
rainforest or nature where the birds
mm,
are chirping. These two things
mm,
are like so favorite of mine. Yeah,
yeah. Wow. That's
thank
good.
you.
That's great. Thank you, Archana. Yes, Mina, you want to say something?
Yeah, yeah. The flute resonates very well. We can it go takes me into deep meditation, and also I'm missing last 2 days. I didn't meditate because
Mm,
I was away,
mm,
and today I felt so happy. It's
wow.
like I always say in the morning sessions, as if I miss some one day, and if I come back, it's like the longing love. I say that the mother's love we long, right? So when you see
Yeah,
that, you feel so happy inside out. So
yeah.
nice to meditate.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Very
And
good.
your words and all, it's beautiful. And
Thank you.
in childhood, I don't think so. We name it as a grudge for the childhood
Mm,
memories and all, but I
mm,
can say it's like I'm angry for something.
yeah.
I hold
Yep.
angry on you.
Mm,
Uh, I don't have a proper explanation for a grudge. Like
mm.
I hold grudge on anyone, then I'll see you afterwards, this and all. I don't
Yes.
have those things, but few relations with friends, and we
Mm,
hold that, oh, they did this to me. Little bit of anger with them. But
mm.
now I said that's how life is, and I left. Maybe because I'm into meditation and all, I'm letting go things.
Very
Like
good.
I changed drastically from COVID time than before. Now
Mm,
I am so easy. Okay, you're not talking to me. Okay, no anger, nothing, no emotions. Okay, don't talk.
yes.
I become so like okay, I become like, not I don't care, but it
Mm,
doesn't affect me anymore.
mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's nice actually.
That's really nice. I think this whole year is a blessing. Many people
Yeah,
say that
yeah,
it's really a very hard time, but I think it's the ones who are in the path towards themselves.
it's,
I think it's a really a blessing time.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
true.
very good.
Yeah, and we are all blessed for you,
Yes.
Madhu and Ram.
Uh,
So dedicated you both are.
we are
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm,
I
thank
was
you, thank
writing in my gratitude journal today morning, like I'm so happy to have come across Pari, and there's one
you.
Radhika Mehrotra, and I took your name and Ram's name. Like sometimes you feel so good that you have crossed your path with some people, and it makes your life really more worth. And you come to know a lot. You feel happy to talk to those people, happy to listen, because we have so many people around us, but you don't feel that connection. You listen to so many people, but you don't feel. You talk to so many people, you don't get connected. So once you get such people in your life, you should be grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archana. Yes, Swapna, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, I joined late, so I wanted to hear the question completely, but I understood from sharings of Archana and Meena.
Mm,
Yes, definitely, as Meena said, there was never something called as grudge,
mm,
but always for me it was more like whenever people used to say hurtful words or something,
mm,
instead of being more angry on them, I used to feel bad about it. Why are they
mm.
saying this?
Yes,
And over a period of time, sometimes whenever we meet them, the
mm,
first thing that comes to our mind is those words that they said.
very true.
And that
Mm,
also gives a reminder that how we need to speak, because
mm.
definitely we don't want to, when people meet us, we don't want them to recollect those
Two.
things.
Mm,
So it keeps a check on how we are talking, to being conscious and being aware of how we are talking. And
correct,
after coming into meditation, I realized that there is something called as soul evolution and soul growth.
correct.
And when you get that feeling, even though I feel a bit hurt, but even though I get reminded of those words, but
Mm,
immediately I am like, they still have to realize.
yeah,
So
mm,
eventually they will realize, that kind of I would say some kind of compassion, or maybe
mm,
something like that comes in. and
Mm.
then you feel relieved.
Yeah.
But it is very difficult to let go of those words and those hurtful
Mm.
words. But
Mm.
definitely, with more and more meditation, I felt
Correct.
you develop that compassion even towards people who speak, and realize that they're creating something for themselves, which is not
Mm.
very good.
That's
So
true.
hope they come into this path soon. That was
Yes.
something that came to my mind when you asked me, Madhu. But
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
nothing
Good.
as if grudge.
No.
Yeah.
No grudges. Yeah. That's very good. That's very
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Swapna. Yeah, it's very very good concept. I mean, like very good sharings that we all did today. I think the story. I think we all should follow Gautama Buddha here, because I always come up telling of this story that, when Buddha was supposed to teach in one village, and he has to cross one more village. There people doesn't like him, so they all come and they try to insult Buddha. They try to abuse, they use abusive words. So Buddha just silently goes to that other village and finishes his teachings, and he'll be coming back. And again, people will get to know that Buddha is passing through this road. So they will come and ask Buddha, "Hey Buddha, we did morning shouted at you, yelled at you. Why did you not say something?" Like, then Buddha said the simple things. I think we all should implement that. That that if you are if I went to that village, the person, the head of the village had given me some sweets, I have taken it. If I don't take it, whom does it belongs to? So simply the person who questioned Buddha said that it belonged to the person who is giving. So the same way, if you're shouting, if you're yelling at me, that or if you're hurting me by words, saying that I am this or that, so if I take it, then only it belongs to me, right? If I don't take it, it doesn't belongs to me. So we all should implement this in our life. See, the more we take these kind of feelings, if somebody tagged you like this or that, you should not take it, because you know who you are. So don't take it to the heart, and don't burden yourself. Don't make your heart so heavy that it suffocates. So keep it light as much as possible, because we had gone through so many things in so many other lifetimes. I'm telling you that, like, these things are the reminders for us to make us more strong. When these things come to us, like these challenging situation comes to us, it makes us more grow. Like, it should not make a downfall, but instead it should we should rise from it. We should just smile, and we should move on from there. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I do. This is what I implement. And I'm really happy that I accept everybody, and I try to learn from every situation. So yeah, this is my part. And well, now let us get into the story part. So yesterday we have heard about Mata's decision, and Ramji's decision, that she will be staying in the forest. So how is it life in the forest? Today we will get to know. Soma stopped her tail long enough to bring us each a drink of water. Refreshed, she continued. The first person to visit us after our arrival in the forest was Shanta, Sri Ram's elder sister. Mata was standing in the doorway of a cottage one day when she saw a woman with a dress and bearing of an ascetic walk up to the path. An expression of joy escaped Mata's lips as she ran to greet her. Mata had only met Shanta once before, after her wedding. Well before Ram and his brothers were born, Maharani Kausalya had given birth to a daughter, Shanta, who had been married off to the great sage Rishi Yasiringa. but not of her own volition. She had to abandon palace life for the austere life of an ascetic. Living far from Ayodhya, she rarely had the opportunity to meet her family, and they rarely spoke of her. It seemed they had all but forgotten her, except for her mother, Maharani Kausalya, who continued to long for her. During Ram's youth, Shanta was an idealized figure for him. She often appeared to him in dreams when he was a child, and so he bonded with her from an early age. When Shanta heard of Sri Ram and Mata's return from the exile, she made plans to meet them, but then was delayed. After she heard of Mata's retreat to the forest, she hurried to see what the situation was. She embraced Mata, then withdrew with a frown on her face. She asked, "Why, Sita? Why are you here and not in the palace in your condition? Come, Shanta, you have had a long journey. Let me feed you and then we will speak." Mata replied with a glowing face. Upon Mata's insistence, Shanta allowed herself to be ushered into the cottage and served. When they had finished the meal, Mata took her hands and said in a serious tone, "Let me show you the past, the cause for the present situation." They went into meditation. Later, Mata told me that she showed Shanta the scene in which Rishi Brigu had cursed Narayan and all that followed. Upon seeing this, tears came into Shanta's eyes and she said quietly, "So you too accepted the curse?" Mata responded, "Didn't you accept the aesthetic life of your husband and leave the comforts of the palace? But there are other reasons for my being here, Shanta. Reasons that will reveal themselves in time. My children will grow up as I did, with the freedom to roam the forest, unhindered by palace regulations. I want to give them their early training, and this would not be possible in Ayodhya. You know that. I want them to learn humility and service and love for the natural world. There will be plenty of time for them to know the power of their position later. The world will benefit from your sacrifice, Sita, but it saddens me that Ayodhya does not honor its women." Mata immediately put her hand over Shanta's lips and exclaimed, "Do not say so." Then, speaking in a soft tone, she said, "There is nobody, Shanta, nobody that Ram respects more than you. During our long journey, he spoke often of his brothers with such love and tenderness. But when he spoke of you, his whole tone and demeanor would change. He said that you prepared the way for us to lead an ascetic life during those 14 years. You made it possible through your efforts. He thought of you often as we made our way through the difficult journey, sometimes going without food and shelter. You are an ideal to him, an ideal of what a woman can be. He told me that I reminded him of you." With a gentle smile, Mata turned to face Shanta and added, "And I replied that this was the greatest compliment he could pay me." Shanta now placed her hand over Mata's mouth and said softly, "Do not say so." Mata removed Shanta's hand and continued in a halting voice, "He once told me that his brothers and he did the visible work in the open for all to see, but you and I did what needed to be done in the unseen world, unnoticed, quietly. Isn't that what we desire, Shanta? To do what needs to be done in the shadows, benefiting the world without any acclaim. Isn't that the path we have chosen?" Shanta nodded her head in agreement. "He told me how you used to come to him in dreams when he was a child, and that is how he came to know his elder sister." A broad smile settled on Shanta's face. "We came to each other in dreams. This little boy would come and give me teachings. A great love developed between us, although we rarely met in person. I know that during the last days of Maharaja Dasharatha's life, you were there by his side. All of his sons were gone, but you came to sit by him. to hold his hand and comfort him so that he could leave this world in peace, despite the great pain in his heart from the breakup of his family. When Ram told me this, he said he would be ever grateful that you performed this function, which he could not do, that you gave your father peace in his last hours. And I know you traveled a great distance to be there, enduring many hardships. Shanta, your sacrifices are not unknown to Ram or to me. Struggling with emotion, she asked, "You knew this?" Mata nodded. "This is what gave Ram peace after his father's passing, knowing that you had been there." Mata paused. "Your modesty will not allow me to speak of your spiritual accomplishments. But Shanta, after I arrived in Lanka and during the worst of my ordeal, I saw you with the other great women sages who had come to comfort me. You were there behind them all, in the back. Your modesty would not let you come forward, but I saw you, and you do not know the comfort I took from your presence. It was as if Ram was reaching out to me through you. I am ever grateful for that." Tears flowed from Mata's eyes as she remembered the time in Lanka. "I was there, Sita," she replied firmly with great emotion, settling her eyes on Mata. "I was in meditation when I heard the call from Parvati Ma. That call of hers rang throughout the universe. I felt my spirit rise from my body, and before I knew it, I was seated with those great women sages. I did not deserve to be there with those women of such great spiritual attainment, but my heart drew me. My heart followed you and Ram through all the 14 years of your exile, and there was not a day during your exile and captivity when I did not pray for you and offer for your protection all the fruits of my meditation. What you endured in Lanka was for all of us, Sita. That is why the women gathered around you, coming from so many parts of the universe, the seen and unseen world, to acknowledge the benefit you were bringing to the world. You and Ram together cleared the darkness so that a new light could shine through, the light of love. Mata didn't respond. Silence pervaded the hut for quite some time, and then Mata cheerfully said, "That time has passed. Now I have these two children to plan for." "Two?" Mata nodded. "Let me stay with you, Sita, for the delivery." "Shanta, there is nobody I would rather have with me during this time. Please stay and help me receive Ram's children into the world." And so Shanta stayed with us through the labor and delivery. She was the first to hold the children after they were born. During this time, I came to know how dear she was to Mata. Mata saw her as both an elder sister and a sage. During their 14 years exile, Mata had spent much time with women sages, and she missed that in her life now. Having Shanta with her brought back these memories. They would spend much time together in meditation and in discussions of spiritual matters. Sometimes hours would pass and they would be fully absorbed in their discussions. After the birth, Mata's sister Urmila came from Ayodhya to be with her, and Shanta felt it was time to depart. She and Mata embraced, and Mata tried to express her gratitude and love. Shaking her head, she said with deep feeling, "Shanta, I have no words. I am blessed to have you as my sister and my friend." Shanta quietly replied, "And this world is blessed to have you. One day the world will know who you are." I was overcome by the tenderness of the moment as they stood together, unwilling to part. Finally, casting one last look at Mata, Shanta turned and began her long journey home. We watched as she made her way down the path leading into the forest until we could no longer see her slender figure. Mata was to see her only once more, just before her departure from this world. Later that night, Mata said to me, "The world will forget Shanta. The deeds of her brothers will be long remembered, but her greatness will slip from sight. Yet I will always remember and cherish her. What she has brought to this family with her spiritual wisdom will never be known, but it will yield many blessings well into the future. Later, I asked Mata if Shanta would be safe traveling such a long distance alone on foot. Mata simply smiled and said, she has many mystical powers. After all, she is Ram's sister. It was not long after that Sri Ram came to meet his children. I think the joy he felt as he held them in his arms spread through the three worlds. One could almost hear rejoicing in their many realms. Soma stopped speaking, and the hut filled with silence. After a few minutes, she opened her eyes and looked around the hut. It seemed she was returning gradually to the present time. I noticed the several ascetics had gathered and were quietly listening to Soma's narrative. I had been so absorbed in Soma's story that I had not heard them enter. Seeing them, she slowly rose from her seat and said, I must prepare food for you all, then I will continue. My mother protested, saying that we didn't want to trouble her any further. Trouble? Soma asked with a laugh. I am doing only as Mata has commanded me. She used to say me and to Hanuman, you must feed whomever comes to you. This is how they will know our love, by nourishing both their bodies and their spirits. So I cannot do otherwise. Come, I will make a most delicious meal. We followed her outside to the kitchen area. The rain had stopped, and the refreshing scent of wet earth filled the air. It was beginning to get dark. We realized that the hermitage would now be serving the evening meal, but we had no desire to return, as it seemed Soma had more stories to share. So we helped her prepare the food. Several other ascetics appeared, and Soma seemed to know them well because she smiled when they approached. One of them said to my mother, we heard Soma had visitors and was telling stories of Mata Sita, so we could not resist a visit. As I began to eat, I suddenly became aware that I always felt relaxed and peaceful after eating Soma's food. Your food is different from other food. It has a very soothing effect, I said to Soma in a curious tone. She smiled. Mata taught me that food is to nourish the spirit as well as the body. She said that different types of food have varying effects on the nervous system and also affect the mind and emotions. Vasuntarama, who is sustaining us through the food, has designed it this way so all our needs are met. If we are conscious of this when we prepare the food and perform our preparation work with gratitude to Vasundarama, we are able to awaken the special qualities of each plant. When we finished eating and cleared away the eating area, we moved inside to the cushions where we had sat previously and waited. Soma seemed in no hurry to resume her narrative. She chatted with my mother about the Gurukula, asking many questions about the students and teachers, as I impatiently sat waiting for her to dive back into the past. Finally, Soma closed her eyes and entered the meditative state. After some time, she began to speak. It took me many years to understand why Mata had been called again to the forest, why she had to undergo tapasya yet again. But for all she had to endure, it was that much more difficult for Sri Ram. He felt the separation far more keenly, and Mata knew this and suffered on his behalf. How she yearned to prepare the right foods for him to ensure his health and peace of mind, and to serve him, to discuss with him the decisions he had to make for the kingdom, and to comfort him when there were difficult times. After Mata recovered from the birth of the boys, Love and Kush, she began to spend much time wandering in the forest, as she used to do when she was a child in Mithila. Sometimes I would accompany her with the babies. I would find her stooping down to see a creature. On one occasion, she would say to me with a touch of sadness in her voice, in the future, This species will be gone. But look how precious it is. A glow of joy would brighten her face. All manner of creatures would come to our cottage, and Mata welcomed them all, taking such delight in their various forms and colors and the sounds they emitted. Everything about them brought her joy. She loved to look into the eyes of the larger creatures, and I knew she was communing with them through unspoken means. She once told me it was through a visual exchange. She could see the pictures in their minds and send them pictures, and in this way they communicated. One day, as we were walking through the forest, I watched her stop to observe and speak to this one and that. In astonishment, I exclaimed, Mata, you are imbuing the natural world with such love, such love. I have never felt this intensity of love before. And then it dawned on me this was her purpose for being here. She smiled and said, why does that surprise you, Soma? These animals, these trees are a manifestation of love. For no other reason have they come into being. They are a reflection of the love that sustains and upholds the universe. Then she added sorrowfully, humanity once knew this, but all too quickly they are forgetting it. And when they block the channels of love that flow between them and the rest of the natural world, she shook her head. It is my greatest desire to prevent this from happening. And so we must saturate the world with more love, Soma. That is our sole task. So that is why you have been called back to the forest? I asked. She laughed. You know the reason, Soma, why must you keep deliberating over this matter? After a few minutes of silence, she asked, would you prefer to be in the palace with all its comforts? I shook my head. I'm happy to be wherever you are, Mata. I would follow you into the darkest corners of the universe if you would permit me. She smiled. You have followed me wherever I have gone. You have been there, Soma, and it will always be that way. Soma paused in her narrative. I cannot describe what happiness flooded over me as she spoke those words. It is something I had known, but to hear it affirmed by her, I never expected to hear those words with these human ears. Soma's voice drifted off, and she became quiet. A faint smile brushed across her face as the memory returned to her. After a short pause, she continued. Mata explained to me that it was not only the power exercised by Ravana over the natural world that has unsettled the earth, it was also the weapons used by both sides during the Great War that destroyed life on earth. These weapons were not just they could have destroyed life on earth. That is why Ram tried every means to avoid the war until there was no other way to subdue Ravana. He had to use these weapons, but he did so with extreme caution. Vasundarama is still reeling under their effects and will do so for a long time to come. Mata told me that she could not counter the effects of these weapons, but she could soothe the pain inflicted on Vasundarama with her love and hope to moderate the imbalances that could result, some of which might not manifest until well into the future. When Mata spoke like this, a distant look would come into her eyes, as if she was seeing far ahead into a time not yet imagined. It was then that I understood the gravity of the situation. Such a war does not occur without leaving a deep mark, deep imprints on humanity and the planet. It was Sri Ram's role to plant the seeds for the flourishing of a new civilization. It was Mata's work to heal the damage that had been done before and during the war. So that's all for today, friends. Tomorrow we will get to know about the education of love and Kush. Yes. Yes, Balaji, that's true that Sri Ram had a elder sister, Shanta.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. I never heard this in
Yes.
almost. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
It was so quick, Madhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was too quick. Only one chapter I did it today. Yeah. So
Even
Again,
maybe
feels
meditation
like
was,
yes, sorry, please go on.
please go ahead, Balaji.
even though meditation was, short today, but it was wonderful. I
Wow.
felt so much energetic.
Wow.
Thanks a lot.
Wonderful, wonderful, Balaji. Thank you.
I missed the meditation. I think I'll keep the recording and do it, Madhu.
Yeah.
Somehow felt, oh, why is Madhu already saying that's all for today? That's how I felt. I was so
Yeah.
engrossed in the story. Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you
I
so
think it's
much.
it's just we will finish in very few days. I think this book is
No, Madhu,
yeah.
we have to do it again.
Yeah, and we have to
I'm
do it
sure
again.
everybody will be in. And
Yeah.
you have a magical voice, Madhu. The way you are modulating your voice, like tone when you're reading and those emotions and all, it's
Mm,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
beautiful, I must say. So beautiful.
mm. Thank you, Swapna. I'm still working on it. I'm just telling to the I told to Ram the other day that I have to put little more emotions when I'm speaking about like when Janak Baba is speaking or when there is Sri Ram speaking. So yeah, m-
No,
it will
it's
be.
beautiful, Madhu, and I think we should do Buddha's wife next.
That's
But
what it is. Next book will be
yes,
Buddha's wife.
so I wanted
Yeah.
to add one thing about
Mm,
to our previous discussion about grudges and all.
mm, mm,
So sometimes when we go through these experiences with people and their words hurt us, we
mm,
tend to kind of distance ourselves in terms mentally, emotionally with them.
mm,
And also sometimes we develop that kind of, I don't know if we can call it ego, but it so
mm,
happens that you just don't want to talk or things like that, and that kind of distance comes between you.
mm,
If especially if you have to interact with them more often,
mm,
carrying this feeling of that hurt and that emotion first that comes, even though you're trying to forgive them, is a
mm,
bit difficult.
mm,
So what I did is, if someone did that and I'm hurt and there's a distance that has come, I
mm,
consciously make an effort to uh, call them or talk to them, and if there's anything going on good or positive in their life, try to give
mm.
them that positive feedback.
Very good.
That is for me. I'm not doing any favor to anyone. I'm
That's
actually
true.
doing a favor to my own myself, because
Mm,
it's that ego or that gap, whatever you call it,
mm.
it a little bit it dilutes by doing
Yes.
that. So I've
Yes.
recently come across a situation wherein somebody was like, just out of nothing, no reason,
Mm,
somebody said something, and I
mm,
was so hurt that I didn't feel like talking to them or anything. It's not
mm,
anger
mm,
or anything. It's more like distancing.
mm.
But why, kind of a thing. And then
Yeah.
I remembered, yes, we should never question anyone, any
Yeah.
situation. Why? Well, I mean, especially I saw even you were also mentioning in one of your talks
Yes.
in
Mm,
PMC channel. So
mm.
why me? Why are they saying this? So such things. So
Yeah.
then that distance was growing, and
Mm.
whenever I was talking to that person, that was the thing that was constantly bothering me. So
Yeah.
I felt this is not right. So
Yeah.
then there came a situation wherein they were doing something uh, good, and
Mm,
then I took that time to call them and talk to them,
mm.
so that I can make peace with my emotions.
Exactly. Very,
Yeah,
very well done. Very well done, Swapna. I think we all should do the same. Think shifting that energy which we had towards them to something more accepting. It's
absolutely. And
like
it
it
is
is.
because
Mhm.
Saroja Gullapalli madam also says,
Yes.
you have to be selfish and forgive others, because when
Mm.
you forgive others, first you are the one who's going to be at peace immediately,
Yes.
and then
Very true.
your perspective uh,
Yeah.
when you meet people will change.
That's true.
So yes, so beautiful. And I just wanted to add that, because
Very good.
I've been learning beautiful things from all these masters in this group, sharing their
One.
experiences and things, and it's really helping me grow, I feel. So I thought I'll just share something that I applied
Yes.
to.
Great, great. Thank you, Swapna, for sharing. It's very
Thank you.
important that we all should add something to whatever we are doing so that, like we can all learn from each other.
And
Lot.
also, it's like, suppose even if I'm saying, sharing my experience, if
Mm,
somebody doesn't agree or somebody has a different thing, I would
mm,
love to hear their perspective too, because we are not perfect.
right,
And
right,
it definitely helps us grow. At the end of the day, it's not about because this is the group wherein we don't judge. At
right,
least here
right.
we are
No
more open.
judgments. Right.
Yes. So I feel that will definitely help. So
Mm.
anyone, anytime, please feel free to stop me if I'm not in the right thing. At least it'll help me understand a different perspective.
Mm. Very,
Yes.
very
Thank you,
nice.
Madhu.
Thank you, Swapna. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Sylvie, and thanks to mom. Yeah, and yeah, let us go back to the forest. Yeah, let's plan, Sylvie. Since we are staying in the same place, I think we can plan if the weather is good to go to the forest. Yeah. So so with this, friends, we will all see each other in few hours because I'll be here in Germany. It will be 2 p.m. 2 a.m. and in US, I think it will be 8 p.m. EST, I guess. So yeah, I will be speaking on knowing who we are. So I'll be sharing the link in the group and please do join. If you're unable to join tonight, we will be meeting again tomorrow in the morning at 6 a.m. By Master Ravi from India, 6 a.m. Germany time or 9:30 a.m. India time. And evening, as usual, we will meet for the story and the meditation. Till then, have a lovely day, night, and evening. Usha, yes, Usha?
Sorry, Madhu. Sorry for. I just had a question.
Yes, Usha?
I'm so sorry to unmute myself very late.
No.
Madhu, you said it's 2 a.m. Germany time, right?
Yes, 2
This
a.m. Germany
session
time.
would be recorded, right?
Yes,
I
it will
hope.
be
Okay.
recorded. Yes, it will be
Sorry.
recorded, Usha. Yes, it is
I'm
recorded.
sure I will not be awake, but I just didn't wanted to
No, no
miss
problem.
your
Yes, yes.
sharing.
Yeah, I know it is very late. Yeah. And I'm glad that I'm doing it at that hour because, like it's the time where, like everybody will be sleeping and I'll be having this wonderful information put into so that it will be delivered out. That's what we say, in India, Brahma Muhurtam. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's the time. It's so
First, I
beautiful
was like,
time.
did Madhu say 2 p.m.? Or like, okay, it took me few seconds to grasp
Yeah.
it. And then I'm like, I am already in my peak hours of sleep. And I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
will ask her. Thank
Mm.
you so much, Madhu.
Thank you, Usha. I will
See you
share the
tomorrow.
recording in the group. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Thank you. Bye
yeah,
bye.
yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye. Yes,
Thank you,
Swapna.
Madhu. Thank you all. That's it. I
Thank you.
just wanted to say
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Bye.
Thank you, Swapna. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone.